Good morning. It's cold, but somehow I'm okay with it. So I guess there's another adjustment accomplished. I'm gonna shift right away to the sun, and then I want to just tell you a little story, kind of a thought I had this morning. So let's go to the interesting part of the video. Good morning, sun. So this is my 6th morning, start of my 7th day, because I wasn't here in the morning on last Wednesday. And every morning I have woken up in varying degrees of somewhere on the spectrum between fear and uncertainty and excitement and joy. But every morning I've gotten out of bed, and my bedroom is at the end of a long hallway. You go down a set of stairs, there's a little landing, and then you go down the next set of stairs. Nick Anderson, good morning. Anyway, for whatever wackadoo reason, in my imagination, every morning, there has been a person sitting at the table, which is where I've been working, kind of at the bottom of the stairs. Every morning, in my mind, I have gotten to the bottom of the stairs and had because there's a stranger sitting at the table, which is alarming. I don't know what that stranger wants. Now, interestingly, once I get downstairs and see that there's no one there, my imagination does not follow through with the story. Although I do sort of wonder if I'm supposed to be writing horror novels or something, because my capacity to imagine this, despite the fact that I've seen very few scary movies, read very few scary books, and had very few scary things ever happen to me personally, my imagination's capacity seems great. So I'm trying to lean into that, I guess. Good morning, John. Anyway, as I was walking down the hallway this morning thinking about this man who kind of looks like Javier Bardem in No Country for Old Men, which I also haven't seen, I had a realization. And I thought, maybe in this time between sort of super awake or super asleep and super awake, my creativity is trying to tell me something. It's trying to give me visible clues. Now, hang with me. This is a little bit out there. But, you know, what are we out to go out there? I don't care if people think I'm loony bins. So I was walking down the hall, and I thought, well, it doesn't have to be scary, bad-haired Javier Bardem sitting at the bottom of my stairs, personifying my creativity. What if it is someone who I love and whose talent far, far exceeded mine, and who was taken from this life to the next far, far too early? What if it's my friend Phyllis Morgan sitting at that table? So Phyllis was truly one of the most extraordinary actors I ever not only knew of, but had the privilege to work with. And she was killed in a terrible car accident going home. She lived in the cities, she worked at the Children's Theater, and she, I think, fell asleep and was killed in her car. I think she was 27. She was so young. And ever since then, I have made my guardian angel's name Phyllis, because Phyllis doesn't need her human talent anymore. She's been gone for, almost 20 years, probably. She doesn't need that talent anymore. So I've always named my guardian angel Phyllis and asked for that talent. And sometimes I've gotten it and sometimes I haven't, because it's a big ask, because Phyllis was a larger-than-life presence on stage and had instincts coming out of her earlobes, and I would be lucky to ever be as extraordinary as Phyllis Morgan was in her few years on this planet. But I thought to myself today, all right, My creativity is sitting at the table, waiting to join me on whatever I'm going to work on today. And I don't want it to be scary, and I don't want to have that moment of, because I wasn't expecting a stranger to be at my table. I want to have a morning moment of, Phyllis! Because I haven't seen her in years. And it's incredible what happens to your mind and your body and your spirit when you shift something that you've imagined is scary to something that is welcoming and joyful and fabulous. So as you watch the sun come up today, I want you to think about, where can you shift the lens? Just slightly. Where can you go from being afraid to being excited, or being uncomfortable to being comfortable, or saying no to saying yes, if it makes sense? So I'm going to let you watch the sun come up a little bit, because it's too exquisite to shut off now. But I'll stop talking and you can just enjoy. And we'll talk a little bit more before I go. Some of you might have read a piece I wrote. I don't even remember what blog it is, but I talked about going to see an energy specialist. And she walked into the room, and I was at the back of the room, and she kind of bounced back and said to me, "Whoa, your energy level is massive." And she put her hands up like she was feeling for something in the dark, and she started to back up, and she backed way out of the room. And I finally heard her say, "There it is. There's the edge of your energy." And she walked back into the room. I think this ring around the sun, that's what I'm going to imagine my energy looks like. This massive, glowing, warm, inviting, beautiful, life force giving energy. So if you woke up this morning and thought, "Ugh, it's cold and winter's coming and I'm tired and I don't want to go do fill in the blank," maybe your energy level is wimpy and kind of a dull gray. Can you channel this stunning ring around the sun and wrap yourself in that and see what it does for you today? I wish I had George Harrison sitting next to me. That would be quite something, for many reasons. But I wish I had George Harrison sitting next to me with his guitar singing "Here Comes the Sun." Should have brought a boombox. Your 2 assignments for the day are to look at this glowing energy around this rising sun and imagine that you are wrapped in that same warm, beautiful, inviting energy. And let that guide you through the day. Let that be what enters the room first. Because believe me, people will feel it, they will sense it, they will appreciate it, and it might change everything for you today. And the second thing is to just think about where can you take the things that your imagination has created as scary or uncertain or things you shouldn't do, and just shift it. Where can you go from Javier Bardem to my sweet friend Phyllis? And if that doesn't mean anything back to you, you'll have to go back to the front and hear the story. And then I actually have a third request for you. First request, third point for you. If you're enjoying these, would you share them? Part of this work in these 2 weeks is to grow my audience. I didn't intentionally start filming the sun for that, but these have kind of caught on a little bit. So if they mean something to you, if you're enjoying them, would you share them and invite people to join us tomorrow right before 7 a.m.? And yeah, I got to get a bigger audience. If I'm going to really make the kinds of shifts that I feel like I'm ready to make, I have to have a larger audience. And if you would help me do that, I would be really grateful. So I'm sending all my gratitude to you, and I'm sending all of my best wishes to you today, that you have an excellent Wednesday. It's the middle of the week, so enjoy. I'll give you a few more seconds with the sun. Have an extraordinary day.